Hello. So for this assignment, this is the main method. These are all my method calls. All the good stuff is in this class. We have my arrays. We have the unsorted array and the sorted array. Um, when starting this, I wasn't sure um, how big the index was supposed to be, and then I realized that there was no specification. So this started out as a test array, and that turned out to be my main array, and I just didn't change the name. I instantiated the random object at the top of the class because that's the best way to do it. If you put a random number within a method, it can mess up the generator. So I put that up there. This is just the constructor filling the array with random numbers between 1 and 100. It was a little test right there. And then the insert an integer. Some user prompts. I did it for user input. I originally had some hard-coded values, but I just put zeros in there, and I just overwrote them here. And then it inserts into the array. Test array at array position is equal to new value. That's pretty self-explanatory. And then I do a try-catch blocks in case a user, or me in this case, enters a number too big for an integer or anything the out of bounds of the index. Project description. Okay, so for this one, for the sorting, I used the shell sort. I thought about using the radix or the radix sort, but it had recursion, and recursion makes me cry. So I went with the shell sort. We have the gap equal to 3, the temp variable, obviously. So we're creating a loop based on the gap size. We are setting integer j equal to I, so we're setting it at the same index value. And then while j minus the gap value is greater than or equal to 0, and then test array index j is less than test array at j minus gap. So you're comparing to see if the number or the integer at the higher index value is less than the integer at the lower index value. And if it is, or while it is in this case, you assign the higher value, the higher index value to the temporary variable, and then you swap them. And then you set the j to j minus the gap value to see if there's anything else that you need to swap. And there could be a cleaner way to reduce this gap value, but because like really, this all just depends on how big your gap value is. I just set it to 3 because that seemed to be the simplest with the size of my array. So there could be, depending on the size of the gap, there could be a cleaner way to reduce the gap value. Because if you don't do this, and I ran into this problem, it just kind of stops and leaves it unsorted. So you have to reduce the gap value, and then this just turns into a regular insertion sort. And then it does the same thing as up here, just with the smaller gap value. And then we print the unsorted array, and then we print the sorted array, but first we have to assign the sorted array into its new home, and then we print it out. So let's see how this works. There's an unsorted array, enter a value, we'll do 56, and put it at 5. I got 56 inserted here, and then the sorted array is down below. So that is my project. Any thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to comment on my post. Thank you.